Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5, the Don Lemon Show. We're so glad that you could be with us. We've got a lot to go to talk about here. We have some breaking news to discuss, of course, as it relates to Donald Trump, and again, embroiled in lawsuits and litigation. Is that necessarily a shocker? No, because that's Donald Trump's life. That is his MO. But Donald Trump has been blocked by so many judges, I can barely count them or keep up with them. It's very similar to the charges that he faced. What was it? Falsifying business documents and all kinds of things. And I was like, wait, which Donald Trump case are we talking about? And yet this fool still became president. Says more about the country than about him, though, right? So we have some breaking news I'm going to tell you about in a little bit. So stand by, everyone. Stand back and stand by. But I want to introduce, this is our some of our members tonight. This is our Lemon Legends evening where we discuss the news with them and they get to be a part of it. They're joining us now. We're going to get to talk to them. There you see them up on the screen. Maureen Marfell is here. Kim Page. May Money's here. Natoisha Williams, Nicole Cox, and James Brim. I was going to say it's ladies' night until James showed up and ruined it for all of us. So we'll get to them in just a moment. But let's talk about this morning. There was so much engagement and so much interest in what happened last night in New Orleans during halftime at the Super Bowl. People didn't get it. It revealed, exposed a lot of racists and racism. It exposed a division, some divisions in this country. And so I just want to, there is a young man on social media who explained last night better than anyone could. Now, remember, last night was all about American iconography, about America's role, African Americans' role, Black people's role in America from the beginning until now. Samuel Jackson told the story of America. Well, actually, it was a video game. He started it and then he ended it. He was Uncle Sam starting the video game, telling you that this whole thing is a game. And are you willing to play the game in order to survive in America or to go along with the oligarchy, the racism, the patriarchy, all of it? If you're ready to tap dance, as they say, for the man, and then game over at the end. It was a story brilliantly told, but it went over, sadly, a lot of people's head. Watch this.
You understand the message of the whole show, like the story of it, was it being a game. Like Uncle Sam popped out and said, salutations, it's your Uncle Sam, and this is the great American game. Further on in the performance, he's like, Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Do you really know how to obey? The whole stage setup was a controller, heavy on control. He started off the show rapping the extended version of the song We All Really Want. He had a few lyrics that stood out to me in this part. You would not get the picture if I had to sit you for hours in front of the loo. Would not have a soul even if I had told you to stand next to Johnny and Q. Johnny is J-Rock. Q is Schoolboy Q. You would not have a soul. That's Ab-Soul. Do you know who Ab-Soul is? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ab-Soul, one of the greatest lyricists of our time, okay? I bring Ab-Soul up because all of this controller we see right here reminds me that in 2012, Ab-Soul dropped this album called Control System. And if you listen to this album and watch Kendrick's performance, same to same. Here go a few bars from the song Terrorist Threats featuring Janae Aiko off that same album, Control System. Wish I could see how the Selassie I. Maybe my sovereignty will still be mine. If all the gangs in the world unify, we stand a chance against the military tonight. Here go a few more. Deborah Rock. I know you just a puppet, but I'm giving you props. You lying to the public like it ain't nothing, and I just love it. I hope it don't stop. I don't give a damn, nigga, bang that block. I don't give a fuck, nigga, bang that clock. Peep the concept. You got progress, you got Congress. We protest and hope they confess. Just proceed on your conquest. I ain't got no gavel. I ain't finna fight nobody battle. I just wanna be free. I ain't finna be nobody chattel. Slave. I ain't trying to be nobody chattel. Game over. Game. How the hell they said this is mid? What in the world?
But anyway, so this went deep. This guy is like deep into the Kendrick music. Now, listen, I know, how do I say this? Not everybody understands what's going on with rap and hip hop. Not everybody understands the lyrics. Not everybody's into it. As a matter of fact, I did not know a lot about it. I still don't know a lot about it. But Kendrick Lamar has won a Pulitzer Prize for his lyrics. And the gentleman that he talked about, this one of the greatest lyricists there, whether you like it or not, hip hop is a huge part of the American music. It is the number one selling genre in the country, and it's not just Black music. It's about Black life. It's about Black people's role in America. But you know, the people who listen to rap and hip hop the most are white kids in the Midwest. Those kids knew all the words, they knew all the lyrics. So if you're a parent out there, you're an aunt or an uncle, someone older or grand, you're like, what is this music? I don't get it. What is this ghetto stuff or whatever? Your kids know every single word. Are the kids. If it's not your kids, then it's somebody's kids, and they're white kids. That's who's buying it. That's who's making Kendrick Lamar, even Drake, Jay-Z, all of them. That's who is making them rich. They are buying the music. Your kids. Your kids. So we'll discuss that. But also, I thought this was the most wholesome moment for me, because we went through this whole thing about the Super Bowl and whatever, and I'm not just gonna beat a dead horse here, so to speak. But this was the entire night, last night. I think this is the most poignant moment for me, and I call it wholesome. Is Jalen Hurts hugging his dad? They had a moment on the field. Let's watch after he won. He's a quarterback. If that doesn't make you tear up, I don't know what will. And I really like it because you know the story that people, even comedians, like to joke about it. They joke about it all the time on SNL about Black men and absent fathers. Well, not there. The Hurts seem to be sort of the epitome of the nuclear Black family, intact family, and we needed to see that. So I think it's great. Congratulations to Mr. Hurts and Mr. Hurts. And I love seeing them embrace on the field. Men being emotional. Dad saying, I'm proud of you, son. I love you. Don't let me go. Look at you. Hug me, hug me. I'm so proud. Tell me that's not amazing. Who wouldn't like that? And that big smile from Jalen Hurts. And you know, the ladies love Jalen Hurts, and not just the ladies, so do the gays. But they love Jalen Hurts, and I'm sure that made them love him even more. So congratulations to the Eagles. And before we get to our breaking news involving you know who and how he's been thwarted by the court, but that's not the end of the story, let's bring in the Lemon Legends. Hello, Legends. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you watch the halftime show? What did you think of it? I'm going to start with you, May Money. What is going on? What did you think of Kendrick? What did you think of the game? What did you think of Donald Trump showing up, showing out?
Okay. Hey everybody. Hi. Thank you always for having me here. Um what did I think? I had a lot of thoughts, Don.
Quickly,
I'm
though, because
gonna
we got to
try.
get to the breaking. I
I'm
just got a
gonna do
quick thought.
I'm gonna do my best to keep it quick. So number one, Kendrick, loved it. It was a very powerful message. And yes, a lot of people did not get it. Did not get it because all I saw on Instagram was how Drake felt. I'm like, first of all, um, ain't nobody worried about Drake. Drake is cool. Well, like I like Nothing Was the Same, one of my favorite albums all the way from beginning to the end. Drake is fine. We need to be worried about the actual message that was being portrayed during this performance, and the fact that a whole bunch of people didn't get it is concerning to me because we are not seeing, hey Jackie P, we are not seeing the real problem here. We're over here sitting around playing with these crazy people. Secondly, what was the other the
Trump.
national anthem. Um I was livid when this traitorous, smarmy, con man had the audacity to salute while the beautiful John Baptiste was singing the national anthem. This man is a traitor. This man committed straight up treason in our country. Both of my grandparents, God rest his soul, were veterans, and the fact that this
I feel you.
former president had the
Okay.
audacity to sit there and
And well, he
and
was booed during it. There were some cheers and there were some
good.
boos. But I got to
Yeah,
move on.
we
I got to
couldn't
talk
hear
to.
that.
Yeah, I got to talk to
And
some
then,
of the
and then
other
yes,
folks.
that's all I have to really say for now. But
All right, James, I want to know.
Mike.
James? Did you watch? You're muted, James. We can't hear you. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I apologize.
Just
I only saw the
quick
fourth
thoughts
quarter.
from everybody.
I only saw the fourth quarter, so I don't really have much to add. I was traveling. I was in Florida for work all week, and I was just getting back.
All right, thank you. Kim Page, how do you feel?
Oh, sad to say, James, it's okay. I didn't watch either. I had to work. I am so sorry. I'm a huge football fan too, but I'm so glad Eagles won. I did have the score. I did
Okay.
watch the halftime last night.
Okay.
So, and I'm a huge hip hop fan because I love to dance, but I've never been a huge rap fan. I'm gonna admit it. But I thought the message was powerful. The message was powerful. And May Money, you're right. A lot of people won't get it.
Yeah. Let me do one more. Nicole, what did you think?
Kendrick understood the assignment from the minute they called him to do this. I think the people who called him to do this, they didn't understand. And he told them in the opening bars of his performance, he said, "This is the right time, but you picked the wrong guy." And I was like, oh, Lord, he gonna do it. Because he was not about to tap dance for anybody. Kendrick is an artist. He's not an entertainer. He's an artist. And he holds hip hop in the position where it should be, which is high art. He takes it seriously, and he does not bend for anybody when it comes to that. And I think people got confused when, in the midst of this rap battle, he decided to basically give them what they wanted, a bop, something they could nod their heads to and shake it in the club and do it with Not Like Us, which was really a throwaway song for him, just to show during the battle that, yeah, I can do deep, meaningful, triple, double, triple, quadruple entendre lyricism, but I can also give you a bop just like my opponent can, and it still kills. And it goes, what, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, people got it twisted and they thought that that's who he is. That's not who he is. That's just something he can do. And they thought that that was going to be his Super Bowl statement. That's not going to be that man's statement. And he came out, and for those who don't understand rap, that's fine. Turn the volume down on the performance and watch it again.
Yeah.
Because Kendrick is also a master of visual performance. And
The
if you didn't
choreography was
understand the
amazing.
words,
Yeah.
if you didn't
If you didn't
understand
understand the words,
watch
you
the
got
choreography.
you got the
watch.
visuals, the human
The
American
visuals
flag.
are
Yeah.
telling the story. There's no way that you can't come away understanding this is a Black man displaying a Black experience, and it is not necessarily a positive one. We have a lot of improvement to make. The struggle is real. Kendrick understood the assignment. A+, he came, he ate, left no crumbs. That's what it is.
If you're just joining us, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the like. You're watching the Don Lemon Show, which is our Live at 5 program. We are live today, and this is no holds barred. We talk like we talk. We say what we say. I said what I said every single day here at 10 a.m. for our Hot Topic show, and then at 5 p.m. For Lemon Live at 5. Again, and so the folks that you see on now, they are the highest tier of our membership. They are the Lemon Legends. They are legends because they support us more than anyone with their monthly membership. So thank you, Lemon Legends. We'll be hearing from you in just a moment about this and other things. Let's get to the breaking news, okay? Because Donald Trump has been blocked again by a judge. Blocked again, okay? The rule of law is not dead yet in America, at least we don't think, but it is in trouble. We have a few breaking news stories that's going to illustrate what I mean here. This afternoon, a federal judge in New Hampshire issued an injunction blocking President Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship, the now third federal judge to do so. As I said, there's so many of these things, I can't even remember exactly how many and which one we're talking about here. So a third federal judge did it. The executive order instructed the government to stop recognizing as citizens any children who were born on U.S. soil to undocumented immigrant parents, and obviously to deport them. Judge Joseph LaPlante of the U.S. District Court in New Hampshire said that he would issue an injunction immediately and that he would follow it on Tuesday with an explanatory order detailing his reasoning. So every time we have one of these, the judge blocks it and then gives it a few days and says, I'm going to explain to you why I blocked it, but it's blocked. And make no mistake about it. Okay, we'll see if that holds up. The executive order has already been blocked indefinitely by a federal judge in Maryland who issued a nationwide injunction last week and by a similar action by another federal judge in Seattle. Okay, so that's three. Meanwhile, there's another one. A federal judge in Boston on Monday continued his pause of the Trump administration's unprecedented plan to get millions of federal workers to resign. So now they're blocking everything. Now, remember I told you guys, didn't I tell y'all, especially Lemon Legends, because you guys are up on the screen, didn't I tell y'all, like, don't pay attention to every single thing. They're just throwing stuff out there. A lot of it is not even going to stick, but they're going to keep doing it because they're going to distract you from actually what is happening in this country, what they're really trying to do, and that is to ruin or break or tear the fabric of the United States, okay? The fabric of our country. U.S. District Judge George A. O'Toole Jr. had temporarily halted the administration's plan to offer mass buyouts to millions of federal workers on Thursday, just hours before a deadline to accept the offer. It was set to expire tonight. After a hearing today, he said the pause would continue until he rules on a preliminary injunction in the case. So all of these things paused. But do you think Donald Trump is paying attention? Do you think the administration is going to follow the rules? Do you think they're going to defy a federal judge? I think you guys know what's going to happen. I believe that we are, and I'm not being hyperbolic here, we're in the middle of a constitutional crisis. Our country has never been here before. We've never had an administration defy a court's order or orders or judge's orders. Never. But it appears that is what's happening. Let's put it up. New York Times. Judge rules Trump administration defied court order. Judge rules the White House failed to comply with the court order. The federal judge in Rhode Island said that the Trump administration had failed to comply with his order unfreezing billions of dollars in federal grants. And so guess what? They don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them because they think that they are anointed or they have been crowned king of the United States, that they're a monarch and that they can do whatever they want, that laws don't matter, that the Constitution doesn't matter. The Constitution matters. Tim Miller over at the Bulwark, he says that we're on the way to a constitutional crisis. I believe we're in one.
Tim, here's how the president weighed in on the judge's ruling blocking Doge access just yesterday.
No judge should frankly be allowed to make that kind of a decision. It's a disgrace.
We have Republican Senator Mike Lee writing that the ruling, quote, has the feel of a coup, not a military one, but a judicial one. And let me go back to J.D. Vance, who, by the way, Tim, went to Yale Law School, saying judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. Where's this going? How do you see this heading?
Well, look, JD previewed this back before he was even chosen to be Trump's vice president. On one of those million podcasts he was doing, he was asked what advice he'd give to Trump. And the top piece of advice he said he'd give to then candidate Trump was that, you know, when you win again, when the courts come for you, and try to prevent you from doing the things that the people elected you to do, you should say the court has ruled, now let them enforce it, referencing a apocryphal quote, probably apocryphal quote from Andrew Jackson, like basically saying, I dare you to enforce it, but I'm just going to keep doing what I pledged to do. That was Vance's advice to Trump then, before he was VP, and he alludes to that in, I guess, a little bit more circuitous way in this tweet now, and I think that is what they're planning to do. When they plan to try to buck the courts and which issue they choose, I think that kind of remains to be seen. How aggressive this is, maybe they just dip the toe in the water a couple times and see how it works. But like, we are barreling towards I think what is very likely going to be this administration bucking court rulings and then seeing what happens.
Bucking court rulings and then seeing what happens. I don't know. Look, I really respect Tim. I think that we are a bit further because as we are in the beginning of this, they're not even paying attention. What they're doing is saying, hey, look, you guys have, the judges said, okay, go on, don't do it. Well, come and get me. They're saying, who's going to check me, boo? That's what they're saying. Who's going to check me? And so far, no one has been able to, because even though they are still freezing this money, they have not paid any consequences for it. There have been no consequences for this. For their defying a judge's orders. It's time to move to Europe, says Tiffany HR. No, Tiffany, it's time for us to fight. And it's time for folks like us and for the Democrats to push the judges, to push the Democrats to continue to act even stronger. And it's time for the media to start revealing some of these things without normalizing it, without pretending that this is normal, without sitting there going, well, here we are. We're in the middle of are we in the middle of a constitutional crisis? What's going to happen? Tell him. Donald Trump is acting like a thug and a thief and a criminal. Donald Trump is never going to obey or follow the rule of law. It's never going to happen. So what do we do in this instance? Do we get rid of him? Is it the 25th Amendment? Is it impeachment of some sort? What is it? What do we do? How do we get out of this mess? Because you can imagine if it was a Democrat, what would happen? Can you imagine if George Soros was in the White House or had an office in or near the White House and was deciding policy and was firing people or sending out notices and letters to officially for a not even a department, for an agency that's not even an official part of the government? Can you imagine what Republicans would do? Their heads would blow off. They would go and string whatever Democrat it was in the White House up and carry him out. They already wanted to do it to a Republican vice president. They wanted to hang him. Imagine what they would do with a Democrat. These same MAGA folks. These same MAGA folks who broke into the Capitol. Treasonous. Traitors. Non-patriotic. Criminals who got pardoned. Violent criminals. What is the difference here that they did not get prosecuted? Why didn't they? Can you imagine if it was people of color doing it? If it was black folks breaking into the Capitol? Can you believe these N-words acting like animals? Can you imagine? I can't even. Into our Capitol. They broke into our Capitol. You know I'm not lying. We give it to you straight here. Can you imagine if it was black folks breaking into the Capitol? No way, no how. They would not be pardoned. Pardoned? Are you kidding me? So in all of this, can you imagine? Donald Trump is defying a judge's orders and getting away with it. If that happens, we are in a dictatorship. This is fascism. We are living in authoritarian times. The judges need to hold him accountable for disobeying orders, says Kyoko. Yes, but the judges aren't doing it. We need to demand that of the judges, and the media should be demanding that of the judges. Calling the judges out. Why are you saying you're ruling and then they're not abiding by, they're not obeying your ruling? So what are you going to do? You're going to send them a strongly worded note? Are you going to call them up and say, hey, buddy, what are you doing? Yes, Mari, Republicans need to grow a backbone. The Republicans are not going to do it, though. They're so afraid of Donald Trump, they're shaking in their boots. There's no way they're going to do it. T. Bobcat Hall says, how did we get here? He has absolutely no decency or concern for the law. We're in the middle of a constitutional crisis already. Tim Miller mentioned what J.D. Vance said. We should have known. We told you what would happen. Now, look, the MAGA folks may be like laughing and thinking this is funny, but wait till there's a Democrat in the White House, and there will be one, because people are going to grow tired of this. There will be a Democrat in the White House, and I think a Democrat will be the next president. There will be no more Republican presidents if this continues. That's how I feel. And so now this will be precedent, and a Democratic president is going to say, yeah, well, defy me. I mean, well, do something, because I'm acting in my capacity as president, so you can't do anything. Just wait. Mark my words. I'm always right about these things. Mark my word. Mark, watch. It's going to take a while. We're going to go through 4 years of hell. But watch. I want to know what you think about it. We're live on TikTok. We're live on our main channel here, which is YouTube. If you want to join our YouTube channel, it's easy. You can become a subscriber. It is free. Also, please become a member. We're live on TikTok, YouTube. We're live on Instagram and Facebook, streaming. And then the audio version of this is going to go to iHeart, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And you can listen to it. You can engage on all of those. But our main channel is on YouTube. So we encourage you and we invite you to become a member. That's how we stay streaming. That's how we stay telling you the truth. That's how we stay here and not give false equivalency to things and not to give election deniers and racists and bigots platforms to spew their bullshit. We don't do that here. As I say, we give it to you straight. I wouldn't say no chaser, because we'll chase that with some more straightness, and then sometimes people gag on it because they can't really deal with it. So it's been a rough week in the courts for Donald J. Trump. As of Saturday, he had already been slapped with 8 injunctions, halting actions that had been taken since his second inauguration, including, here we go, the ones that I told you about: his unconstitutional attempt to undo the Constitution's guarantee of birthright citizenship, his attempt to freeze upwards of $3 trillion in government spending appropriated by Congress under Article 1 authorities, the fork in the road email sent to millions of federal employees with its supposed offer of deferred resignation, his firing of inspectors general and other officers who are supposed to be legislatively protected from termination without cause, his cold-hearted transfer of transgender women to men's prison facilities in contravention of the 8th Amendment's protection against cruel and unusual punishment, and the threat of his making public the names of FBI agents associated with his retaliatory purge of those who participated in investigations of the crimes committed on January 6th. And that's not even counting the actions taken by courts to rein in Elon Musk and his Doge crew. So here we are. I believe we are in a constitutional crisis. So J.D. Vance, did I play this? I didn't play J.D. Vance, right, from 2021. Did I tell you that? Did I play that? This is what Tim Miller was talking about. This is what Tim Miller was talking about when he said J.D. Vance indicated to us what he wanted to do. And now they're carrying it out. And by the way, did you buy into the bullshit, MAGA and everybody else, that, oh, this was no Project 2025. Donald Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025. Donald Trump. Who, me? I don't know. Project 2025. Never heard of it. Never met the guy. What is that? What? And now they're implementing almost everything that's in Project 2025, and even appointing people who were co-writers, architects involved in Project 2025, including the White House press secretary who had a role in Project 2025. They lied to you. They are fucking liars. So don't get it twisted that you could work with Republicans, that they're going to grow a backbone, that Donald Trump is going to listen, that he is going to That's what we've been telling you the entire time. Even over the campaign, I was screaming to the top of my lungs, Donald Trump is not normal. He's not going to abide by any rules. Stop pretending that you can appeal to his good nature or the good nature of the MAGA folks. There is none. There's no good nature. They don't care about the Constitution. MAGA doesn't give a fuck about the Constitution. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about the flag. They don't care about the rule of law. What they care about is power and owning the libs. And they don't realize, these MAGA folks, these dummies, that they are the ones that are getting owned. If you don't believe me, go look at what we posted earlier today. There's a farmer in the Midwest who talks about what Project 2025 is doing and how it is disenfranchising farmers, and they don't even know about it. And all of them voted for Donald Trump. And they're getting owned because they fell for a con man who gave them MAGA brain. This is JD Vance, way back in 2021, telling you what they were going to do. They don't care about judges. They're just going to go around the judges and do what they want. Remember, Donald Trump has a scepter. He can do what he wants. He's a king. Watch.
A lot of conservatives had said we should deconstruct the administrative state. We should basically eliminate the administrative state. And I'm sympathetic to that project. But another option is that we should just seize the administrative state for our own purposes. We should fire all of the people. I mean, I think Trump is going to run again in 2024. I think he'll probably win again in 2024. I think that what Trump should do, like if I was giving him one piece of advice, fire every single mid-level bureaucrat, every civil servant in the administrative state, replace them with our people. And when the courts, because you will get taken to court, and then when the courts stop you, stand before the country like Andrew Jackson did and say the Chief Justice has made his ruling, now let him enforce it.
Did you hear that? The Chief Justice has made his ruling, now let him enforce it. They don't care. So what are you going to do? Remember, you're the people. It's time to take it to the streets. It is time to take it to the streets, people. Talk about take back your country. That's what you need to do. You need to take back your country by any means necessary. Now, I don't mean violence, but protesting is in the Constitution. It's your right as an American citizen. The freedom of protest, the freedom of expression. It's time to take it to the streets, people. I love that Malcolm X energy, though, about any means necessary. Are we to that point where we're going to have to take it to the street and we're going to have to do a Malcolm X by any means necessary? Is that where we are? Since then, now, recently, just what is today's date? Today is the 10th. As of yesterday, this is what JD Vance is tweeting. JD Vance is saying what? He doesn't care about the judge or the rule of law. This is your vice president. This is a thinking of the administration. If a judge tried to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal. If a judge tried to command the attorney general in how to use her discretion as a prosecutor, that's also illegal. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. You know who the executive is? The executive is Donald Trump. And he is saying in that last line, judges aren't allowed to control Donald Trump's legitimate power. Are you listening to me? Judges aren't allowed to control Donald Trump's legitimate power. Donald Trump is the chief executive. So basically, what are they telling you? Free reign. Donald Trump has free reign to do whatever he wants. Vance needs to crawl back under his couch, you devil. That's what Georgette Duncan says. But no, sadly, he is the vice president of the United States. Well, he's got to go, says Tanisha. Well, how are they going to go? How do they go? Let's bring our legends back in. Legends, let's discuss. Okay? Maureen, we're in the middle of a constitutional crisis. You may disagree with me. What say you, members?
I don't disagree with you at all. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I don't think there's a Supreme Court anymore. I used to think that the Supreme Court could deal with a situation like this, but they're all appointed, most of them by Trump. So I guess that doesn't occur. So I get confused by that. But yeah, I don't think, I think our democracy is disappearing. I hope not. And I say go to the streets too, Don. We've got to get out there.
But what does that mean when people, because, when you say by any means necessary, you scare some people. And, I mean that. I kind of mean it. Yes. I've kind of, look, do we have to go there, guys? I mean,
no, we don't have to go there. I wouldn't want to. And maybe I should position it in a different way. I just mean protest, express ourselves of how we feel about what's going on, call our senators, Congress people, which I've done. And no, I'm sorry. That was probably the bad terminology.
No, it's not bad terminology. I'm just wondering because maybe some people feel that way. Maybe we're at a crisis point in our country where people feel like, hey, we've got to get this back on track. Remember, our country was started with a revolution. Is it time for a revolution? Perhaps it is. I don't know.
I don't know. Hope not, but could be.
Anybody else want to weigh in on this? Anyone want to weigh in on this?
I do. This is Natasha.
Go ahead, Natasha. How are you?
I'm doing well. Kind of. I do think we're definitely in the middle of a crisis, and I think the democracy is gone. Not that it's on its way, it's gone, because they are definitely not going to adhere to any Supreme Court rulings or anything. They're just going to steamroll through everything. And when we do say, we need to protest or do anything, is that really going to help? Or what does it look like as far as taking everything back? I definitely think we need to take it back, but how do we? What does that look like? Like you said, is it time for a revolution? Are we going to go to war? We definitely need to get it back from them, but what does that look like? How do we get it back? Does it become a war? Does it become violent? I don't know. So, what does that look like?
Renee White joins us. Renee, have you been listening to the program?
I've been listening somewhat, Don. I'm sorry I'm so late.
That's okay, Renee. We'll take you.
Yes.
We'll take you. Okay, so what do you think about what's going on? Trump is defying these judges' orders. Are we in the middle of a constitutional crisis? Is it time to take it to the street? What say you?
I definitely totally agree with what you're saying. I wish that someone would speak up and speak out. And if it's time to go to the street, let's go to the street.
Yeah. When we say go to the streets, we don't mean violence. We don't mean violence.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, let's take it to the
rowdy.
Yes. You
got to be rowdy.
You got to be in the face. Yeah, you got to be in the face and let them know where you stand.
You got to get information.
Yes.
And we have to stick together. You cannot be like, well, you know what? I can't do this. I had so many people I know when there were people in certain positions, like I always, when I worked in corporate America, I always stood up for people, right? And they'd be like, aren't you afraid? No, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to. If we all stick together, they can't get rid of all of us. But not everybody has the backbone. People are like, oh, you know what? Look, I just got my little Mercedes and I can't do that. And it's like, oh God, that's where we are. Do you know what I'm saying? Kim Page, you had your hand up. What do you want to say, boo?
I did. We are in uncharted waters, I say, because the sharks are circling. And we don't have a bigger boat. So we need to be out there protesting at least peacefully for now. And as things get worse, then we may need to pick it up. But without us out there in mass, it looks like we're complying. That's what I think. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, it does look like we're complying because we are. It does look like we're complying.
It's like we're just waiting, right? We're waiting to see how bad it's going to get.
Yeah,
he's telling us.
Everyone, look, some people are saying, oh, Don, this is dangerous. This isn't dangerous. This is our First Amendment. You have the right to protest. It is in the Constitution. What you don't have the right to do is cause violence or harm. So what do you do if you feel like you have no other choice? What do you do? You've called your Congress people. You've done this, you've done that. What do you do? I think people think that their last hope is to take it to the streets. I don't know why. Why are people afraid of that? There's nothing wrong with that. You can walk out of your house now and protest. If you're on a public street, you can protest. That is your right as an American citizen. You don't have the right to hurt someone. You don't have the right to put your hands on anybody, but you have the right to protest. You can't block roads. Some people do. But what do you do when you're frustrated? When no one is following the rule of law? If the other people are not following the rule of law, then what do you do? Do you understand what I'm saying? Go ahead, Nicole.
Well, I saw May. May was over there waving it down, so I want to allow her to
go ahead, May.
Sound off before I go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that. All right, cool. I was just gonna say, honestly, what do? You need to stand up, and I'm sorry. Maybe y'all wasn't born and raised around a black woman the way that I was, but this behavior would have been put in check a long ass time ago. This is out of hand. I don't know what kind of home training that these people got, but you don't behave like this. And that's why our country is our frogs in boiling water. We're just sitting here. And so I'm trying to hold my curse words in because I got them flying today. I don't give a flying fookity dookity about calling the person that's not gonna do shit. Okay, these people are not helping us. Hello, wake up, stand up. If somebody before they allow you to get punched in the face, so you can't punch them in the face, but they can drag you all up and down the road and beat you up and almost goddamn near murder you legally. This is where we're going. We are going down the wrong direction, and this is getting dire. And we're just sitting here acting like a whole bunch of punk ass bitches. Somebody needs to get this toupee flying down the street because honestly, if where I grew up, born and raised in Oakland, California, I wish you would be talking to anybody on the playground. It would be a fight at lunch. These people are acting out of pocket. And I'm
But we're not
sorry,
talking about
but
fighting. We're
everybody's
talking
acting
about
like a whole bunch
protesting.
of bitches. These people need to get like active up in here because this is dangerous.
Yeah,
We
we
are
need to get
fucking
active, but
around with the wrong people.
we're not talking about fighting or violence. We're not talking about beating people up on the playground.
No, and we're not. But look at the violence they do on us. See, it like we need to wake up here and stop acting stupid because these people are gonna fuck us up. Period.
And let me just read this. You guys know the thing about he is fiddling while Rome is burning, and unlike the enormous majority of people who do this, fiddling with his face toward the flames. So, are we fiddling while America is burning? Do we not know what to do? Do we have any levers in our Constitution that gives us the right to be able to speak up and speak out and take action? Again, we're not talking about doing anything violent. But what happens? Jim, I want to hear. Jim, you're awfully quiet today. You're muted.
I said, I'm just taking it all in. And, I'm going back and forth because part of me is done to take your original advice and just not let it get to you and not let your head explode. Because when I'm sitting here listening to all of this and I'm thinking, the man has done this his entire life. Going back to the 80s, how he destroyed Atlantic City, how he's bankrupted everything, how he's not paid people, how people committed suicide because they couldn't get money from them to pay their workers, etc. There's all those stories in the history here. And the Democrats aren't strong enough to fight. I mean, when you got Schumer out there saying, "Oh, fight, fight, fight," and and then whatever else, it was embarrassment to me. And I don't know what the answer is, except that there's nothing that's going to stand up to deviance. I mean, he's definitely got oppositional defiant disorder, and the guy is deviant. And half our country or whatever, a big portion of our country loves it and is excited about it. So how do people who are on the side of right or on the Constitution, first we have to reel those people in to be on the same team. So if you're talking about a revolution, then half this country's going to be gone. And unfortunately, it's going to be good people who have good intentions and are not racist or hateful or whatever who are going to be taking the bullets, if that's what it comes to. Secondly, I mean, you just had this clergy woman. He doesn't even listen to the woman from who was at the I forget her name at the top off the top of my head, the
He's
Reverend
a bishop.
who was at the
Yeah,
National
I think it's good or
Cathedral
something
or
like that.
I mean, he has no respect for anybody or anything, and neither do the people who he surrounds himself with. So, we're just a big toy and a big plaything to them. So, what is the answer? I don't know. Until another country comes in and knocks him off his block, I don't know what else to say. I don't think I mean, did Black Lives Matters do anything? Did January 6th do anything? I mean, you had all of these people screaming, and it just made things almost worse. And I think that when we look at the big picture, our government's not working right now. Do I think our democracy is gone? Well, I think when the judge in Florida, what was her name again? I can see her face. Cannon. When she started playing the games at
Eileen Cannon.
slow walking that documents case, which was a slam dunk and everything, we lost the courts. I mean, the courts aren't going to do anything. He doesn't care. And the one thing you have to respect about Donald Trump, as much as he lies, he also tells you the truth. I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. I could do this and get away with it. I could do anything I want and get away with it. And he does. And it continues to happen and happen and happen. So, the only one I'm afraid that can do anything are the Republicans. And like you said, they don't have the spine, they don't have the backbone. They're worrying about their own pocketbooks. They're worrying about their own closet full of skeletons coming out. So what do we do? I mean, again, I don't have an answer. I have a lot of thoughts, but I don't have any answers.
It certainly is
And I don't like being
frustrating.
in that situation.
It's
It's more than frustrating.
Go on. What do you mean?
It's more than frustrating. It's scary. I mean, he's ruining people's lives, individual lives, just for no reason. What's happened? Like, who even talked about transgender people 2 years ago? Nobody cared. Just leave them alone. Leave them the fuck alone. Leave everybody the fuck alone and mind your business. Go to work, do your thing. The only thing, maybe we all just don't pay our taxes this April and bankrupt the government, and then he doesn't have a job. So if we all just stop paying our taxes and let the IRS come after each and every one of us, then let's see what happens. He didn't pay his taxes.
Wow, James, you're radical, man.
No, I don't want to pay taxes this year because I know I owe a lot.
I'm not advising anybody not to pay taxes. I'm just saying these are the opinions of the people who are on this program, the members of the.
And I'm not either, but I'm just saying it's going to have to be some with everybody, and until I'm sorry, until
okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now we've lost Jim. Jim, don't. My mom always said, leave well enough alone. You did not have to fiddle with that phone. It was perfect before. So go ahead. Nicole, did you want to say something?
I did. I appreciate the energy, but we are also playing right into the playbook.
Right.
I keep saying this over and over again. The appearance of chaos. This appears chaotic. Oh, he's so sporadic. Every day he just wakes up and it's a new thing. This is not sporadic. This is not chaotic. This is part of the plan. The plan is to appear sporadic and chaotic. And it will stir the people, and then they will panic. And then in our panic, we will run around like ants going, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And then we will make miscalculations and poor decisions. We will be emotional, we will be erratic, and we will fall right into the hands of chaos. Mm-hmm. That is part of the plan. They are running a playbook that is over 40 years in the making. It has been beta tested. They have run the tests here. They have run the tests in destabilizing foreign countries to see how certain things would happen. And now they are running it on us. This is strategic. Okay, so now let's take a step back. We need to organize. If we don't stop to organize first, let's stop and think about some of the catchphrases that we've been using ever since November 6th. Oh, we have a problem with messaging. Now, that was the first thing that started coming out after the unfortunate results of the election. Well, clearly the Democrats have a problem with messaging. Okay, is that actually true? Because, like we keep saying, a certain demographic of the party got the message loud and clear, and other demographics did not. So clearly, we don't have a problem with messaging in certain areas. We just have a problem with messaging in certain other areas. That needs to be fixed. So those areas need to amplify up. Is that being addressed? No, it's not. Okay, then we're talking
But the
about
messaging thing, let me get to the messaging thing. The messaging thing has, that's an election year. I think that messaging, they need to correct that by the midterms because there's nobody to elect now with the message.
Don, at this point, we have a series of things that still are not clear to people. The lovely bubble that we all live in here in the lemon nation, and this is a bubble. This is a beautiful bubble you've created here.
Yeah.
We are educated, we are informed, you are doing the stuff with us, Don, and we appreciate it. Listen, they're not getting it. They're not getting this. They are getting hit and miss bits and pieces of information, and especially if they are not plugged into independent media. That's one more plug for independent media, y'all.
That's true.
If they're
That's
not on
right.
it, get them on it.
Like and subscribe.
And most people are still not catching this. They are still in that legacy media nonsense. They are not getting the good stuff, okay? So we do still have a problem with messaging because they are not getting accurate, in-depth information that is pertinent to actually what's going on. All right, so we've got a problem with that. The information is not concise and it's not accurate. Now, we've got a problem with lethargy within at least the active party. Let's just call it the only party that can really fight up against the Republican machine as far as having the money to do so. Not saying there aren't other parties, but we have to get them activated as well. All these other parties, Green Party, Libertarian Party, all these other people, they all have their own agendas and platforms and all this other stuff. Well, baby, your platform ain't worth nothing right now because we have an issue that will stop everybody's platform. Who's reaching out to them? So we have not organized anything to reach out to all of these other avenues. You talking about unite? All right, unite whom? And who shall be the ambassadors? And then we take them right on up the ladder, local, state, federal. And we're not doing it. This Saturday, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna give you your mic back.
Yeah, I got it.
This Saturday here in Jacksonville, we have a state representative who is having a town hall meeting at one of the local bookstores. They've circulated it. This is just grassroots doing it through Facebook. Hey, I'm going to be here at this time. We're going to talk about these issues. If you're not happy with the way things are going, meet me here this time. Let's get it done. And that thing started spreading like wildfire. We just started tagging people. Meet us. Let's go. Let's get it done. Let's get informed. Let's think tank. Let's start connecting. This is how it gets moving. This is how they did it. This is how our uncles and daddies did it. You think those bus boycotts and everything just sprung up because people was mad? And then all of a sudden, the civil rights, it wasn't just people being angry.
But that's what I said. You got to stick together.
They organized.
Yes,
but they organized first. They planned and plotted, and then they moved. And we're not doing it.
But I know. But let me tell you why. Hold on. Let me tell you why people aren't doing it, because they're afraid to lose what they already have. They think that they're going to lose their cushy lifestyle or lose something. I can't do this because I'm going to, as I said, lose my little cheap Mercedes or whatever, the lowest run on the thing. I'm going to, not be able to buy this designer handbag. That's what people are concerned about, rather than the bigger picture that you won't have
Don,
a
if I may,
country anymore.
I will
That's
I will
hella
say that
selfish.
I
That
will
is
say this.
selfish
Well,
and
hold on, May.
disrespectful.
Hold on, May. I will say this last thing, and then I can understand that because everybody has different things to lose. It is not fair for me to stand on my little high horse and say, well, you shouldn't be afraid to lose, whatever it is that you've got. That's not fair for me to do
They're not
because
going to
I
lose it.
don't
That's the
know.
point.
I don't know what other people have to lose. So, and I don't know what you had to pay to get what you have. I don't know your life and I don't know your struggle. But I do know this. Everybody is able to offer something.
Right.
Everybody can offer something. And it is not my job to dictate to you what you should be able to offer. That's not my job. My job is to encourage you to say whatever it is you can give, whether that's I'm a mom with 6 kids and I can't afford to be out here marching on the streets because if I go down, who's going to take care of my kids? Okay, but can you start a reading circle so that these children don't all the book
But
bans
hold
that
on,
they're
Nicole, let me
doing
jump in here.
and
Then
these
we need to be able to take care
offer
of
what
each
you can
other.
do.
Listen.
But that takes
I
organizing.
know,
And
but
it goes right
listen, you're
back to
not
what I'm
listening to
saying.
me. Please listen.
I am.
Then we need to be able to stand behind each other. And if she has kids and can't pay her rent, then we need to be able to help her pay her rent. That's what they did in the 60s when they fought. Everybody, you're right. Everybody has something that they can offer. We need to be willing to sacrifice something. That's what everyone needs to be willing to do. And you have to have that mindset or nothing is going to
Of course you
happen.
do. But you won't know it until you get together
Yeah.
and then discuss and find out who is in your neighborhood, who has the assets, resources, and needs.
Put that
And
back
then you
up, please.
connect.
I see you. As
Then
I
you
see
open it
you
up
is
again.
saying in the chat, ICU says, let's unite and rally together in protest. It's time to hold Republican Congress people accountable. We have a responsibility to safeguard our democracy and our voices must be heard loud and clear. I agree with you 100%. And thank you for your support of independent media. Now, let me just say this. While we're doing this and you're talking about the chaos, that it was all chaos is part of the plan. Okay. Donald Trump is saying he is MAGA. There is no MAGA without him. As a matter of fact, he's saying even though he picked J.D. Vance for whatever reasons it is, J.D. Vance is not his pick as a successor. Let's put this up. Donald Trump does not view Vance as his successor whenever Donald Trump is ready to leave office. Watch.
Do you view Vice President J.D. Vance as your successor, the Republican nominee in 2028?
No, but he's very capable. I mean, I don't think that I think you have a lot of very capable people. So far, I think he's doing a fantastic job. It's too early. We're just starting.
But by the time you get to the midterms, he's going to be looking for an endorsement.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that this has been the greatest opening, almost 3 weeks, in the history of the presidency.
It's definitely been the fastest and the most stuff happening.
We've done so much so fast, and we really had to because they have really, what they've done to our country is so sad. It's so sad. We're going to be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before.
Wow. That answer was no. Can you imagine if you're the vice president and the answer was no? James, what are you saying? You seem like you want to jump in.
I do. I have to comment on that because, I mean, everybody's saying, oh, the next election, the next election. He's already told us time and time again, this is the last time you ever have to vote. We're not going to have any more elections. So that's the plan, folks. So, that's what we have to look at. His words, take him for at his word. Nobody's listening to what he's actually saying. I don't know. J.D. Vance isn't going to supersede me. It doesn't matter. No. I'm a king. I'm going to appoint who's going to go when I go. It's going to stay in the Trump family or whatever he's thinking. That's what we need to listen to. I mean, Liz Cheney, again, said it great. We're going to sleepwalk ourselves right out of our democracy. And that's exactly what's happening. And we're not. Whenever you hear Trump talking about the future, he just dismisses running again in the election. He's not planning on another election in the United States. Please. I mean, do you really believe we're going to have another one, Don?
Yeah. I think if folks get fed up, if they go too far with this, I think that we'll have another election, hopefully, and that a Democrat will get in. But if we don't fight back, if we allow this constitutional crisis to continue, then yes, I agree with you. There will not be another election.
Well, that's my point. And I think there's so much apathy, and they did such a great job at dividing the country. And then all the young people, the college kids, they don't even know why they voted for Trump. I mean, I was at a well, I don't want to go into it, but I was around a lot of young people this past weekend who voted for the first time and second, and they all voted for him. And I'm like, why? They just don't even know. They just
Yeah.
don't even know. And
Another story
it's the TikTok.
Another story that we need to talk about: Republicans in Congress have widely praised Elon Musk as he has gone about restructuring and, in certain cases, eliminating entire parts of the government. But in private, as in 2016 and 2020, what they did with Donald Trump, they are saying quite a different story. They've expressed quite a different perspective on the head of Doge and his wide-ranging initiative. A review of letters sent by Republican members of Congress to their constituents show many lawmakers expressing caution, even concern about the role Musk is playing. Some members have pledged to voters that they will serve as a guardrail for Doge. Others have expressed apprehension over the conflicts of interest that naturally result from the richest man on the planet and a major government contractor having such immense sway over federal spending. So they're saying one thing in public, but this is what I mean, guys, when I tell you have to be willing to risk something. You've got to be willing to do it, and you have to stand by each other. So these folks are saying one thing behind closed doors, right? And then telling their constituents another thing. They're not even willing to stick together to risk something, not lose something, but to risk something. That is an example right there of what I have been saying. Natasha?
Exactly. Excuse me. It's very frustrating because I do see where everybody is all over the place, and I feel like it's going to take something drastic before anything happens. Because even I forget which congressman that finally it's a Republican congressman that's kind of like getting away from them, and it's like, okay, well, one person is starting to see the light. I forget what they were coming away from, but I feel like it's going to be something totally bad, and it's going to be too late, and it's like, okay, well, we're all over the place. No, I feel like we're just waiting for stuff to happen. We're going around with our normal days, and I'm like, shouldn't we be doing something? I feel like we need to stop this because it's going to be too late. Back in the day, our ancestors, they risked their lives, to protest and make it better for us. And then now we're going backwards. So I don't know what we need to do, but we got to do something, and something fast, because it's getting worse every minute. Not even every day, like every minute. By the time we get off here, who knows what else has gone down the tubes. And one thing I thought of too, it took 53 days for that certain someone to, get rid of democracy in Germany. And I figured this person probably wants to beat their time. So I feel like we probably have a lot less time than that.
Well, also something that I want to talk about, and folks are saying this is akin to ethnic cleansing, and as a matter of fact, that they believe that it is ethnic cleansing, that Donald Trump is saying that Palestinians don't have the right to go back to Gaza. Here it is.
We'll build beautiful communities for the 1.9 million people. We'll build beautiful communities, safe communities. Could be 5, 6, could be 2, but we'll build safe communities a little bit away from where they are, where all of this danger is. In the meantime, I would own this. Think of it as a real estate development for the future. It would be a beautiful piece of land.
Would the Palestinians
no
have the
big
right
money
to return?
spent. No, they wouldn't, because they're going to have much better housing, much better. In other words, I'm talking about building a permanent place for them. Because if they have to return now, it'll be years before you could ever. It's not habitable. It will be years before it could happen. I'm talking about starting to build, and I think I could make a deal with Jordan. I think I could make a deal with Egypt. We give them billions and billions of dollars a year.
Renee White, do you have anything you want to say on this?
Confused. What does he mean? How can you actually take over another person's country? That doesn't make sense to me. Not at all.
Kim Page?
What gives you the right to? That doesn't make sense.
No, we have a president who's acting like a real estate developer and not the leader of the free world. And he doesn't understand the complexities, right, of the Middle East. We all know that. He doesn't understand that. But Ken, I want to interject something on the last point. I know we have 2 congressional seats coming up in Florida. I don't know if that'll make a difference, but it's worth fighting for because we can donate. You don't have to live in Florida, but we can certainly donate to these Democratic candidates. And that'll give us 2 more seats in the House. That's something we can do. And that's April. And this is flying all over social media. So I encourage everybody, Gay Valamont and Josh Weil. I've already donated to both of their campaigns. That's something we can do. As Nicole, you're right, we have to organize. Will it make a difference? I don't know. Don, what do you think? Will it make a difference?
I think it will. I think every little bit will make a difference. And if you can get in there and you can change the balance of Congress, of course, that'll make a difference. That'll be the bulwark between us and, I believe, chaos and authoritarianism. Kenya G, a member for a month. Thank you, Kenya, for your support of independent media. They are not protecting our Constitution because that's the real target. This is criminal. If you're in NYC, let's organize. It's not in my DNA to sit this out. Why aren't we protecting our country? That's a very good question. NW, thank you for your generous support of independent media. We have the 14th Amendment, Section 3. Congress needs to use it. They had their chance. We need to remind them. I think it needs a lot of reminding. I think people have just believed that they don't have a choice and that they have to sit back and take this. Now, I tell you, you don't have to be focused on every little bit, every single thing, but we're telling you what is important and what you can choose to focus on. Kristen Velez, welcome to the Lemon Nation. Raj, welcome to the Lemon Nation. Victoria Izzo, welcome to the Lemon Nation. Thank you so much. And all of our new members, thank you so much. This is how we stay streaming, is through your generous support. You can become a subscriber. It is free. All you have to do is click the subscribe button, and you get the notifications of every single time that we have some new content that is dropping. And also become a member. It's very reasonable. This is the highest tier of our membership. These folks who are on your screen right now. I love them. They support us here at the Don Lemon channel, the Don Lemon Show. They have been our very, very loyal supporters. And I really appreciate you guys for it. That is why you get to be on the show. And in some cases, take over the show. Come on, Nicole. And so we love you guys. So you too can become a member. You too can be on the show. And remember, we prioritize our member comments, and they get to be on the screen. So thank you so much for all of your support, everyone. Financial boycotts, someone says. East Coast Transplant says financial boycotts. We can do that. It turns, it hurts the oligarchs. Dr. Ludmilla says, I do feel like Congress is acting as if they have no choice but to keep being nice in spite of the silent coup. That is, I never thought about it. It is a silent coup. Shanti Dennis says the seats are too late. What do you mean by that? You think it's too late? You think it's too late? 3 GOP seats up for a special election. We can ruin Trump's majority, says Azalea Bloom. Shane Will, welcome to the Elimination. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for joining. Tabara, welcome to the Elimination. Remember, Trump wants chaos for distraction. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Elimination. We're so glad that you are here. And again, all of our new members, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I get a lightning round for a couple of the members, Lemon Legends, who want to say something before we get out the door. I think Jim lost connection, or he just got really bored with us. Maureen, you got a few last words quickly, please, because I got to get out of here. You're muted, my dear.
I just encourage everybody. I thought that was a great interview with Will Westmoreland, the farmer.
Yes. Tell everybody they need to watch that interview, right, Maureen? It's really good. It's a fun.
Yeah. I learned so much, and he was great. He was wonderful. So yes, encourage it. Absolutely. Thank you, Don.
Okay, thank you. Who's next? Quick comment. Kim. I'm going to go in order.
Okay. Yeah, I just found out I'm going to be a grandmama, my first grandbaby. So this is so more critical, right, for the next generation. It's bittersweet though, right? It's bittersweet to think
Yeah.
about bringing a baby into this mess. But
Yeah.
I'm still happy, so I just share that.
Wonderful.
You're the perfect grandma. So everybody say congratulations, okay? To Kim.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes,
We
congratulations, Kim.
want to see
That's so
pictures. We want to see baby photos.
Yes.
Even bring the baby. It's a girl or a boy?
Do share. Yes.
I'll find out. I feel like it's a girl, but we'll see. She's not due till September.
Oh, okay. She's not.
Thank
Okay.
you for,
Got it. Okay.
thank you
Yeah,
for
we're
sharing.
early in it yet. It's my son's.
Well,
So,
congratulations. Go ahead, May Money.
thank you.
Yes.
I just wanted to say just to top off like my previous points, we got to stop being a whole bunch of PABs, punk ass B words, okay? Because like for real, these people are playing us like fiddles, and we are in danger. So it now is not the time to be like all like clutching pearls about curse words and shit, okay? Like we need to get it together, because these people, like I said, they're gonna F us up royally. So stop being scared. And honestly, these people are cowards. They are cowards. All you gotta do is just hit them back, and they'll sit down.
Yeah.
They need to be handled.
Like those neo-Nazis and racists in Ohio.
Exactly. They scurried so quick.
Yeah.
So this is child's play, but we're not paying attention.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you're paying attention to the PAB that need to get busted upside his head real quick so that he
No,
knows
you
who
can't
to
say
fuck
that.
with.
You can't say
Nah, for real. Because these people got us bent. Okay.
All right.
For
Go ahead,
real.
Natasha. We're not condoning violence. We're not advocating violence.
And I
here.
also,
Natasha,
yes, no violence, but also I love y'all. We need to stick together. Let's organize. Let's do this together. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't be a bitch about it.
Go ahead, Natasha.
I just hope we can save our democracy before it's too late, because I have a fear that something is going to be too late. So I just hope we can save it before anything traumatic.
Nicole.
Everybody this weekend, find 5 friends. Y'all get together at a library, a church, a school, a playground, somewhere. Y'all brainstorm about one thing that you can do next week that would be positive motion. The following week, each person commit to bringing 2 more people with them to the same meeting. You guys use the resources within every avenue of commerce you have, whether it's law, business, education, whatever it is that you specialize in, and then slowly grow your group. You will find that leaders will rise within the group, resources will rise within the group, help will rise within the group, and every week commit to bringing 2 more people to that group. It will spread. Then contact your state and local representatives, bring them to your group. Tell them you have a group of people, we are ready to move, and we have things to do. What do you need us to do? Bombard your representatives with emails and calls. They do make a difference, even though they may not be listening to you. I live in the red state, baby. I'm in Florida, the hellhole of Florida. It may not be making them move, but you are clogging up their lines. So you're making it hard for them to do business because you're clogging up their lines. All right, they got to sort through all your stuff. Make it difficult for them. There are moves that we can make until we can make major moves, but we have to connect. Start with grassroots. It worked for our forefathers. It got us the civil rights movement that they and those all of those laws to pass. It may be able to save them. Let's just start there.
All right.
Start there.
Renee White.
Don, I'm going to take a quote from you: by any means necessary, such as emails, text, show up, go to the office, have a chat, sit down, have some coffee, meet with them, let them know where you are, where you stand. I think that's a good way of doing it. Violence is not the answer.
No,
That's
not at
not the
all.
answer, but they need to hear from us. Definitely.
Renee, we don't see you as
Thank you, Don.
often. Renee, we don't see you as often as we would like, but I want to know how
I'll
you're
be here
feeling.
more often, yes.
Yeah, I
I'm
want to have you here
fine.
more often. But how are you doing? What are you hearing out there?
I'm hearing a lot, but I tried my best to just stay focused and always listen to you, because I do not pay attention to your your past colleagues, your former colleagues. I like to listen to you because you always tell me the truth. Always tell me the truth, and you always keep it live and you keep it real. And this is where I'm always be. And thank you, Don, for allowing me to be a part of the Lemon Heads and Lemonation.
Thank you. Thank you, Renee. Thank you all for our legend. You're a legend. Let me tell you guys that I got to tell you, amen. I was so hardened, and I said this morning, as I made my way to New Orleans and in New Orleans and back in the airport, there were people who were like, "Oh my God, I'm a Lemonhead. I'm a member of the Lemonation," just randomly yelling it at me like across the airport. Yeah, Nicole, I know you're like, I don't believe that. Yes, it's true. Just I'm kidding with you. And they're just yelling. I went through security and I was beeping because I have a belt buckle that beeped. By the way, I left my belt in the New Orleans airport. I got to figure out how to get it in that little thing because I had to take my belt off. And this lady in the TSA, "Hey, I'm a Lemonhead. When's a lemon drop coming?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe this." Everywhere I went. So I am so heartened by it, and I cannot believe the engagement that we have. Guys, remember what I said I wanted for my birthday? You guys know what I said, right? To have 500,000 subscribers. We are at 490, and my birthday is March 1st. So can we please make that happen? Look at look at Renee and those guys. So look, guys, I love you. Thank you so much. All the folks who are watching, if you're a first time here, become a member, become a subscriber. We love having you. You'll get to be part of the show. You don't get that in traditional mainstream media and corporate media. You don't get to be part of the program. You just have to sit there and watch in frustration. We don't treat you as if you're nuts, and we don't insult your intelligence. So remember, Trump wants chaos. So thank you. Yes, you're all right. So thank you, all of the members, all of the new members. We really appreciate it. From Bernadette Ramos to Marty Velez to Winifred Allison. None of what I work my ass off for is worth my grandbabies. Community is where it's at. Yes, Winifred, you're right about that. So all of the new members, all of the new subscribers, thank you so much, okay? And I'm not feeling well, so I'm going to go. And I'll see you hopefully at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Can you guys join us for Hot Topics? It's a really great show where we get to talk like this as well. And that's it. That's all I want to say. I'm going to go have some soup and some honey and lemon tea and carry my behind to bed. So I love you for Lemon Legends. I love you. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. And I love everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.